Okay. Good evening everyone and welcome to round 7 of the Race Station Formula 1 World Championship. I'm your commentator for today alongside Big Dave 235. We hope you will enjoy the current or the next 2 hours. Sit comfortably and get them to eat. As we're expecting a very interesting race today alongside with Mayhem leading the championship currently. We are aware, however, that his nearest championship rival, that will be David Ward, will not be participating in this race. He's got prior engagements. So again, we agree that Mayhem does not need to win this race. However, we would like the personal pride to win this race. Dave is just briefing the drivers at the moment, so we'll have the full commentary team up in a minute. We are expecting a one-stop race. However, if something happens in the race, i.e. one of the drivers gets taken out, a two-stop is theoretically doable. It's about 10 seconds slower, however. But we have seen it in previous years that the tyres do drop off a cliff quite rapidly, and the delta time on loose tyres can be bundles of time, meaning that the driver behind can catch up. But we're expecting qualifying to be done on either the ultras. Has to be done ultra softs or super softs. More than likely, people will pick the ultra soft tyre. However, the one-stop strategy will be therefore easier on the super softs. Ultra softs last 29 laps theoretically, say, and the super softs can last 41 laps. So over half distance. However, obviously with the qualifying as it is, the tyres you do qualifying on will be the race tyre. However, Canada, as we all know, is quite known for its weather. So we'll see if this is a wet race. Now, if it does rain here, of course, it's more likely going to be heavy rain than anything else. The driver's now starting to get all readied up now. So it seems like we're getting ready to go, rock and roll. Good evening, how is you? To brief the drivers, all okay? Yeah, he's on short qualifying, yeah. We're not doing full qualifying now. Yeah, I am. Oh. Just saying to the viewers that we are expecting quite a heavy rain. Possibility of a heavy wet race. It is Canada after all. It can happen. But if it does rain, are we going to expect more finishes than at Monaco or? How many GP2 drivers for South Africa? 3, wasn't it? Yeah, 3. Yeah. We all know the drill now, 20-minute qualifying session. where the tyre starts on, and it's dry. However, we're expecting heavy rain halfway through at the end of the qualifying session. 20 minutes into the qualifying session, we are expecting some heavy rain. Yep, 15 minutes as well starts to rain, so expect 45 minutes of light rain. This could mark up some strategy calls.
Interesting because the forecast on this game can be a bit unpredictable. I might say
We've got the first car on track. As everyone has now seen the weather report, and the weather's on its way in. Everyone's rushing to get out onto the circuit. We have Wellesley Bob on the Ultra Softs, Mayhem, your championship leader, on super soft tyres, Soulman on Ultra Softs as well. Dave, again, both Mercedes are on the super soft tyre. Whiteside is on Ultra Soft as well. A bit of a mixed strategy call going on here. Well, I was going to suggest as well, if the drivers know that it's going to rain halfway through the race, would it be better to start on the super soft tyres so then they can last longer in the first stint, so then they won't need to make too short to have the second stint quite short? Yeah. J19's also on Ultra Soft as well, by the way, in the Ferrari. Well, this is the thing as well, I was going to raise the question to you. There's not a long run going down into turn 1. People starting on the Ultra Soft tyres will gain an advantage off the line. Will they have enough an advantage going if a super soft runner starts on pole or second? Will they be able to overtake them going into the first corner? I think the first time lap will be completed by Dave 10:25 in the Mercedes. Oh, hits the wall, Champions wall! Gets away with it. Took slightly too much curb on the entry, but still sets the fastest lap. Wellesley Bob is second, now third. J19's just on the back straight, just about to complete his lap. In the number 2 Ferrari. Second, 7 tenths off. But would you be concerned that be 8 tenths off, or would you be more worried about, or would you be happy the fact you are starting second on the better starting tyre? Is Mayan going for another lap? His DRS is wide open. Yep, he enters the final chicane. A bit conservative on the exit. They might have, I know, still got DRS wide open. Could it be a quicker time? No, it wasn't. Right, so the order after the initial runs is Mayhem, J19, Soulman in third. I was under the radar. Whiteside's 4. Dave 25's in 5th. Might have made a mistake on his lap. Wellesley Bob is 6th. Not all the runners have made an appearance then, have they? We've only got 6 time runners. Mayhem's going round. Oh no, he's not. No, he's dived into the pit lane now. Wells have got back in the pits. Dave 1025 is going in the pits without a front wing on. Missed that. Whiteside seems to be coming back into the pit lane as well. Soulman improved again to 1.5 seconds off the pace. That's quite fairly decent performance by Soulman. So J19 will be coming back into the pit lane. So what the driver's got to think about is trying to do a, that might have been considered to be a bit of a banker run. Now we might have a short pause. Change of tyres, possibly a change of wing at a front wing angle or something, and then go back out again, but then treat that set as a qualifying tyre, so then the tyres won't wear that much on the out lap and the in lap. Then the tyres will last more on the race. It's raining now, is it? Yeah, I can see the spits now. Mayhem's out, back out. He's got to be quick now because otherwise the tyres will start to lose their grip. Commentators curse as you will. Oh, that's it. It's gonna be too wet now. Now, would you? We have to, otherwise we'll start 7th. Agreed. This is a bit of an overtaking track. Whoa! No, no. If he does complete this lap, it won't be. Yeah, no. Mayhem's quit now, so obviously he believes he won't go faster again, unless he's crashed, because he was out on track. Let me just adjust my notes then, because we believe then, unless something happens, if we believe this then, that no one will improve. Charlie might get a time on the board, but don't. Well, yeah, it won't be quicker now. After that slight mistake. It's going to be too wet now. He won't be able to do another lap. We can try, but he won't go any quicker. Did we see that on the weather report that it says it's going to stop raining though, right at the end of the session? Nah, it's all gone. It's all gone. So our order, as far as we're aware now, with this spattering of rain, that's quite good for. That's a good qualifying for Whiteside. It might have been invalidated because of the previous running that he's done in the wet weather. Where he hasn't he gone out again in the wet weather? So he might have cut a corner. Yeah, I was going to say this to you. Do you, if some of these drivers haven't done many laps in the intermediate weather and we're expecting intermediate sort of conditions in the race, do they... So Mayhem would start on the super softs. If it's dry, of course. J19's on the ultra softs. Soulman's ultra softs.
The track is definitely a lot wetter now. But yeah, Mike's very tentative through that last chicane.
Just read through some of the viewer comments coming in. Right, there we go, yeah. Sorry about that. The technical issue has now been solved.
This is a reoccurring technical issue to forget every week.
It's the wet weather, we'll just blame the wet weather.
Yeah. It's very wet in the commentary box. Oh, struggling with braking there. Mike's the only car that's taking advantage of this period to try out the inters.
Isn't Wellesley Bob on? Wellesley Bob's out on track but still on ultra softs.
Ah, actually, you're right. It's not a totally good idea, really.
Did I see Wellesley Bob in 5th though? I know Wellesley Bob's in 6th. Who's in 5th place?
Dave 1025, so the
Oh,
second
that was it,
Mercedes
yeah.
driver. And he's quite far off his teammate as well. I wonder if he's been playing a bit of Battlefield this week. Because usually he's a lot closer to Mayhem.
Well, he was saying to Mayhem earlier on that he was quite confident about the race and was looking forward to it.
Who Dave was?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Would that be a slight overconfidence, maybe?
Possibly. And Dave's always talked himself out. He's a very good driver. But I think Mayhem has definitely been putting in the work that you need to win races. It's not just about turning up and doing the race.
Yeah, that proves in the championship.
Yeah. I think he's got that a bit more of a commitment going on there.
Did Putterland beat Charlie in the end?
I don't think Putterland left the pit lane. He has not completed a lap.
Is it Charlie then who's 7th?
Charlie is, yeah, currently listed as 7th.
And that was on ultra soft tyres.
So Mike does a 129.082. So wet weather pace is about...
Full wet weather, I think intermediate is with race fuel on about, I saw the F1 guys are doing it earlier, about a high 24, low 25. So...
Ooh, and Mike's just collided.
If we imagine that probably going to be about a 25, anywhere in the 25s would be on the pace in the intermediate weather, and then probably about a 28.
Well, Mike just did a 29.0 on the intermediates in poly trim, and I think he did about a 14. So we'd say about 15, 16 jump. Roosevelt got no traction whatsoever now.
Doing an old David Coulthard tactic.
And he's coming in the pits. No, he's not.
No, it's not.
He's avoiding the bug. Very good at him.
Right, right, Dave 25 didn't do his ultra. Right, okay. So
if you want, I'm going to jump out now.
It says Mike did on intermediates.
But I'm sure that'll be a glitch. He's going to be starting on the dry tyre anyway.
So yeah, Charlie and Pufferland did not set lap times. So there's your grid. It's Mayhem, J19, Soulman, Mike Whiteside, Dave 1025, Wellesley Bob and Charlie. Then finally Pufferland.
Right, I've started a timer, so we have a 5-minute break. These guys sort out their strategies for the race. Fuel and their tyre usage.
I'm going to adjust my notes. I'm going to leave Pufferland's bed so then we know what tyres he can start the race on.
Well, he will obviously get free choice of tyre.
Yeah, right, so the race is dry. That's important.
Okay. I'm going to join you again.
Right, okay. Now.
Actually jumped the cars, so Putherland is showing as ultra soft tyres.
Okay.
So he hasn't picked to do something a bit different.
Yeah.
Got Dave 1025 on the super soft.
Yep, because he qualified on the super soft. So we should have both Mercedes on the super soft. Everyone else is on ultra soft. That's what we should have. Now, this is interesting. Now, it depends on how many laps people have done in the race, in qualifying. I think it was about two qualifying laps and then one in lap and one out lap. So let's say about 4. Oh, so that means we'll be expecting the first round of stops about what, lap 20? As ultra softs can last 29 laps.
I think we'll be seeing them sooner.
Because the problem is, if they pit early, if they pit 20, if they were on lap 20, that puts them instantly on a 2-stop strategy. Instantly, if it stays dry.
So you're considering that they may be a 1-stop strategy?
Yes, that's what I believe Mayhem and Dave will both do.
Because they're on the super soft.
Super soft.
Guys on the ultras,
super softs can last 41 laps, apparently, according to the data. But because they've done 2 qualifying laps, well, I reckon they'll pit around about lap 30, 35. They can go to.
Well,
because then that makes it a bit easier then on the soft tyre, because then that can last 56 laps. But
we'll see how it pans out. But I cannot see drivers doing 1-stops. I mean, some may.
Dave might try because he's that little bit further back. But people like Charlie, because remember the mandatory tyre is the soft tyre.
Yes.
The first time that's we've only got one mandatory tyre.
Thing is though, it's going to rain in this race.
Yep.
It's already overcast. It could rain pretty early.
The game suggesting a 2-stop is 4 seconds quicker than a 3-stop.
Interesting.
But it does say that in the 4th segment of the race, around after lap 36 to lap 50, we're expecting some rain.
Well, that's pretty late on. I mean, it will negate the use of the mandatory tyre.
Yeah.
But then not using that soft is going to be tricky because.
And if you don't use that soft tyre, if they do ultra softs and super soft, that's very risky. Because if it doesn't rain.
Anyway, 5 minutes is now up, so would you press go to race? And then we can get this one underway.
Alright, let's get this show on the road, as we would say.
No, I don't want to do that.
And then let's hope that all 8 drivers, excuse me, get through the first section of corners, as this track has been quite notorious for first corner collisions, and it's quite high attrition rates.
Everyone's off the grid.
So what J19 does get quite good starts.
He does. I think.
And who is third? Soulman.
He's also.
I don't know about Soulman. I don't know about Soulman's start.
It's all about the start, isn't it? I mean, if he gets a better start, he's got an opportunity. They all have.
And which side of the grid would you prefer to be on? Starting in second, because that's the cleaner side of the grid?
Then you're on the outside, but then I suppose you're on the inside for turn 2. So if you can get alongside and you get space.
Yeah, that's the thing, you see. It's all about giving each other space and being kind. Because a 70 lap race is quite...
a long way to go.
Yeah.
And obviously, you haven't even thought about safety cars or anything like that.
No, they're also quite common. And also with this new rule with the VSC as well, I believe this is the first time the GP2 series is using it.
Well,
using the Formula 1 season last time out Monaco.
Anyway.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient. Watch for the lights.
Lights are on. And we're away. No, we're not. J19 has made a good start.
Oh, it's all getting a bit bunched up. Oh, Charlie's gone. Charlie's crashed. Charlie got caught up, and so's Putland. So the two that, and so's Dave 1025 as well. Have all got caught up in the first corner melee.
Looks like Dave's recovering. Everyone's maybe great. Charlie has got no front wing, so there's obviously been some contact there. Meanwhile, Mayhem is streeting already.
He doesn't need to push this hard, but he doesn't want J19 to catch up and then get the DRS on lap 3.
Yeah, I think that's probably what he's doing. Soulman is, meanwhile, is on the gearbox of J19 and Mark White's up there also, so I think Mayhem's got a good start. In fact, he's miles ahead. These guys behind him are going to be battling. Really
so now this is the interesting thing, you see. We was mentioning earlier about getting ready for the qualifying, getting out quite early, and the drivers, and ironically the drivers that didn't do the qualifying have now been caught up in a free-car collision.
If you look, just before, on the right-hand side, or by the barrier, before the apex of turn 1, you can see Charlie's front wheel on the side. So there was a collision there before they'd even got to turn 1. Maybe someone got a bad start, or someone got a good start.
Right, so we got, so what tyres Dave 1025 go on? He will go on a set of soft tyres.
No, ultras again, and Charlie's retired. That's really unfortunate.
Putterland went back. Putterland stayed out. So I wonder if he got tagged from behind by someone at the back. Charlie got caught up in it, and Dave 1025 might be even 2 accidents we're looking at.
Dave just come out on the soft tyre, and he's done a Yano Trelli.
Sorry, I need to recheck the archives. What did Trulli do?
It was during the safety car period, but he came out of the pits and just didn't.
Oh, did he go straight on it onto the grass? Oh, did he knock his front wing off? Because I can see front wing in the wall on the grass. Right, okay.
So that's unfortunate because he's going to be really far behind.
Right, so let me just update this. Right, so Charlie's now DNF'd. Putterland's kept going. He did not pit Putterland.
No, it didn't look like he had any damage, and he hadn't spun round, so I think he just kind of carried on.
Dave went on.
The incident, so good to see it from your perspective.
Well, I might have been too far back thinking that there was going to be a collision in turn 1, so I didn't really want to be caught up and delay anyone else. Is that... Oh, so that I was just saw Mercedes going in the pit lane into the distance. That might have been recovering Dave 25 in the pit lane. What tyres did he go back out on? He's going back onto another set of softs.
But then I think it's going to glitches a little bit. Oh, covering with the fastest lap. This is difficult for Dave, and what he needs to do now is just put in some laps and try and finish this race to get some points, because he's had quite a lot of issues in previous races, but he's always kind of given up a bit too easily where he's going to get points. So he needs to get himself in there. And there could be safety cars.
Don't mind me, I'm just trying to update the notes.
That's right, and I was just about to say, meanwhile, Mike Whiteside is just on the tail of Solomon, so let's go back to the first place. Not quite with DRS, but Ferrari, Mitchell Russell and Morgan Can all in that pit straight, or on the back straight.
Went a little bit deep into the chicane here.
Oh, Covenant is actually on Mike's side.
Is he?
Well,
did he go by Rosie then?
He must have done. I didn't see.
Yes, he did. Yes. Down, no, when we did the practice race here, Putterland was really quick. It was actually surprisingly quick, and Mayhem was actually quite worried about his long run pace. Now remember, he didn't take part in qualifying, and he has started on brand spanking new sets of ultra-soft tyres. This means, of course, that he doesn't have any of the wear from qualifying. When you do the start here, it does gain quite a lot of tyre wear, quite a lot of extra tyre wear into the rear tyres as they overheat. But yes.
He's definitely
give it a lap or
closer
two,
to
we'll be definitely in DRS zone, as you say.
Mayer, meanwhile, sets another fastest lap into the 16s.
What's the gap out front? The gap out front is 6 seconds.
Covering is quick, you know. Maybe not quite as quick as the leader, but definitely pretty nippy.
Well, it's going to be quite. It's going to be. We assume that Mayhem, barring any mistakes, which could happen in the rain, should be home and dry. Even though J19 has just taken 4/10 out of him in the first sector poke. As I say, that he's gone wide at the chicane. But
Haviland is right on the back of Mike now. He's firing around behind him. Carrying so much more speed through chicanes. So this is interesting. The DRS detection zone is before the hairpin.
Yes.
So you can overtake someone at the hairpin and have DRS.
Yes, but the DRS zone is in between the chicane and the hairpin. Remember this, Dave's gone.
It's a bit unfortunate, but I'm guessing he would.
Oh, Matt, good run coming out the final chicane. Safety car.
Oh, and
safety car.
They were side by side.
He'll have to let that place go.
Yeah. Hadn't quite had it. Unfortunate.
Mayhem's gone.
Mayhem's retired. Oh.
Was that a crash?
No idea.
We keep riding with Putterland.
Probably just past the safety car. They were being waved by. I don't know where Mayhem was.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If we ride on board with Putterland, maybe we'll see. Yeah. I haven't seen any debris yet. Soulman's retired. I wonder if there's a connection issue. Everyone's going. Mike's gone. now got the situation that we had in the F1. So the only person left is Putterland. In a way, do we now get the GP2 drivers that had already retired, Dave 1025 and Charlie, back in the race as we do a restart?
I'm just going to speak to these guys and see what happened. But technically they probably could come in because of restarting, it's not like there's a red flag.
Correct.
What happened there, Mike?
S8 took Charlie out, so we decided to restart the race because it was unfair on Charlie.
I was miles behind, so it might have been.
You took Charlie out the race and he lost his front wing and that, but you're supposed to let them just go, mate. You're not supposed to race with them. So as Charlie had no wing in that.
I didn't. If you watch my stream back, you'll see that I've left like 2 seconds after them.
Well, according to Charlie, you took him out.
Look at my stream.
Yeah, we don't we don't normally restart races once we've started, even if something happens.
I know.
Like when I happened to me,
getting taken up by a steward though is a bit unfair.
Yeah, I know, but like it happened to me in
at China.
Yeah. This is a bit awkward now. We're gonna have to do a one shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so do you want to invite Charlie back in?
Dave's not even on the game. He's gone offline.
Dave 25 is still here, so obviously he was the first one to retire, and I better inform.
Well, Charlie's stream is online, so I'm just going to check this out now. Oh.
Ah, that's interesting. Apparently the viewers are saying it was not my car that hit Charlie. It was the AI of your car.
But it wasn't there.
Well,
left.
on my screen and going at the start, your car was still on the grid. Now, when the race got underway, I did notice that your car had pulled off, going into at the outside of turn 1. Sorry about that. I just had a text from one of the viewers saying that they were struggling to hear me on the mic through your stream.
That's strange. You watch your stream back. There isn't a second car, but it says you're in 10th position, not in... Oh no, it says 9th. But then, yeah, my car loads up. And it pulls away. Yeah, you overtake me, you can see. But it definitely wasn't my car that took Charlie out.
No, it weren't mine either.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shall we
I'm
try
just going
again?
to jump out. Yeah, I'm just going to jump out the party very quickly and just say.
Of course, this now means that the previous weather forecasts are now gone completely out the window, of course. So now they might have retired. It might now just put them straight into a heavy wet situation. Great for us, not particularly for them. Right, so Charlie did rejoin. Why did they? Right, I'm just gonna wait for someone to start. What we'll do. Welcome
Right,
back.
we're underway again. So I'm sure that one will be a point of discussion we had. Usually something
Count
to
that as a
discuss
warm
from week
up,
to week.
and we now start part 2.
Yes, fortunately, it's 50 minutes after we started the first time.
Yep, so it's still 100%. Right, retire straight away.
Now, it's strange because my car was there, then it wasn't there.
Oh,
then
this
it
is
was there.
interesting. This is interesting. Dave 1025 is actually fastest at the moment. Now, because this is one shot, we will not see where people are. Now, if Mayhem made a mess
in
of the first...
second.
Mayhem's in... Right, okay.
He is. You can flick through the drivers still, and he's on the super soft. So
Right, so Dave 1025 has now gone against what he did in the first part. And now tried something different.
Soulman is still in fourth though, which was a good performance from earlier. Mike at the moment's in fifth. At the moment, Rosybird a bit further behind. Puddleland, who is in the pits.
Oh, Dave made a mess of the final chicane. Does that put Mayhem on pole? I can't see. Right, so J19 and Charlie and... Yeah, because they probably might have invalidated their lap times. Wellesley Bob is still going across the line. So it's Mercedes front row. Soulman's still third. Still third is Soulman.
Wow, he did a really good lap there. Right.
Mike's still fourth. So the only person who actually lost out from this is actually J19.
And Dave has clearly gained massively.
Hang on, give me a minute. Right, I'll let you know when we start the formation lap, so then you can
Okay.
rejoin. Oh, this is awkward. Because because the 3 guys got disqualified. It says a completely dry race. Now
You're ahead of them, aren't you?
I am behind them now. I'm in front of them now. Yes.
Yeah, so you'll just have to pull over when you start, and
If I put,
whatever side of the road
I would like to try putting in anti-stall, but I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I wouldn't want to.
No,
Don't want to risk it. I might just go left.
Just if you're on the left, go left, and just slight touch of acceleration, so you're basically off track or well over, and they'll get past you.
I don't know if we're doing a 5-minute break or not. I don't know who's.
No,
I'm just gonna
you're
I'll
not.
let
Just
them
get-
start the race. I'm not gonna.
No, you can start it, Stephen.
Alright. Right, so we've got a Williams starting on softs. Oh, that's your car. Because you left the Manor into a Williams.
So my car is still there.
Yes, your car is still there.
Is it because then I was leaving, not leaving before the results screen? Possibly. Because it shouldn't be there. And the thing is as well, when I rejoined last time, I didn't have the option of going back.
Right, we're now on the formation lap anyway. I'm just thinking actually, would it be better for me to do a normal start and then pull off into the pit lane exit, as the pit lane exit's not too far down the pit lane, or pit lane down the pit straight.
I know, I think just come into the pits on the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the car if you're on track. Okay, I'm on.
Yeah, because your car's
lobby
now
now.
finally pulled off the track at the end of the second chicane.
Is it off the circuit?
It is completely off the circuit. Yes, it's in one of the service roads.
Yeah, so I'm getting 10 cars, but my car isn't an option I can pick. This is something new that we haven't picked up on before.
See, on my system, it's saying that that J19 is actually behind. Oh, of course it would say it's behind me, wouldn't it? Because
Is it there, DNF?
yes. Right, so your car is still off the track, not on the grid, but it will probably put you back. It might put you back on the grid, but it's a different colour. The dot's a different
Well,
colour.
I'll keep an eye out for it. At the moment,
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the
Your
race
car is on the grid.
be ready with the clutch.
Oh, whoops.
You've been given the drive-through penalty.
Oh, I think the carnage about to happen. Yep, your car's just gone head first straight into the wall, the full pedal, so it's now completely off the track.
well, that's good, I suppose.
But Wellesley Bob was not involved in that at all. I think he spun going out of turn 1, you was going into turn 1.
At the front of the grid, we've got Solman, who's jumped into second position, and Dave is in third, so he's lost out at the front. We nearly came together as well.
Remember, I have to retire in the pit lane because otherwise I'll set the safety car up, so I have to go round.
Yeah, Whiteside's in fourth position. With Putnam just behind him, and then J19 just behind them.
So basically, at the end of the story, then Mayhem still got a perfect getaway, still in the lead, nothing wrong with that.
We've got Dave right on the back of Solman, trying to make a move. I think he might get a good run out of the last chicane. Not brilliant, but he's got a run. he going to go for it? Yes, he does. He's down the inside. Oh! He's been punted at the
Where's the chaos? Where's the chaos? We're missing all the chaos!
So there was a collision and someone possibly ran into the back of Dave. Dave is now last, but he hasn't damaged his car and he's on the tail of the pack, so...
Yeah, Wellesley Bob is in front. Still Charlie actually is behind... Oh, okay, so the field is actually quite... Who's on the grass? Is that Whiteside? Yes, it is.
I think that's Whiteside.
It's all manner of cars absolutely ever. J19 has actually made quite a good run up through the field. We're not going through what I did to the hairpin, are we? That was close. Oh, we have collision.
Oh, and
Charlie's lost front wing. Mike's just hit the wall at the hairpin as well, so he might have lost front wing damage. But however, that's still not stopping Whiteside. Is it just me, or are they both gaining on the Ferrari in front of them? I wonder if J19 is running a little bit higher wing than them. Anyway, it's Mike Mayhem first, Soulman second, so Soulman's made a good start. J19's up to third from 8th. Putterland's 4th. Whiteside is 5th. Has he got any damage to his front wing? No. Yes, he's missing his right hand part of the... No, he's not. No, I think it's just design. I don't think he's got any damage. Not according to my system anyway. I'm confident, however, that Charlie's lost parts of his front wing because he hit the back of Putterland quite hard.
Yeah, they had a big old shunt on the last lap there. It'd be tricky to see if he's running a lot of downforce in the early stages, just while they're all kind of bunched up, but we'll soon find out when they're stretching out a bit. Sutherland's going for the overtake and he's done it. We've got 2 Toro Rossos in podium positions here.
This goes back to what I was saying last lap. Has J19 put a little bit of wing on for the race, but has now compromised his
straight line speed?
Yeah.
The DRS is pretty effective here though. If he has got a lot of downforce on, he'll be able to stick with these guys. I think Soulman might be causing a bit of train as well. He does want to hold his teammate up and
there's been quite a lot of criticism if I look on the old commentary, not about the commentary, but of the race, of the procedure of the first race. But we'll get into that later on at the end of the race when it's more important.
It wouldn't be race station if there wasn't some sort of controversy. Anyway, Putterland has got a DRS open and gets past, but he squeezes his teammate.
Now this is interesting. We discussed this beforehand, didn't we, in the previous race? The Putterland did have quite decent pace. I was wondering if the tyres had something to do with it.
And Soulman has just had a collision with J19. J19 is in the wall. He's now in 6th, he's now taken by Mercedes and Big Charlie. I think he may have a bit of damage on that front wing.
Charlie's now been disqualified.
What was that for? Possibly too many corner
That big corner cone, yeah.
Possibly if you're...
Did you get caught up in the accident with J19? Just thinking, would you have had to recover and reverse towards the traffic?
Didn't see Charlie. Mike and Dave side by side right now as well. Charlie had broken his wing. I don't know if he had actually come into the pits to change it, but if he hadn't, he tried to carry on.
Right, now this is when we find out. J19 and Dave 1025 both got DRS on Whiteside, but
Dave and J19 just lifted off then. He didn't,
He's going
and
in
he's
pit
come
lane.
straight into the pits. He didn't want to get involved in that.
very smart thinking there.
And Mike's losing out to Wellesley Bob potentially. Yes, Wellesley Bob just got past.
Right, J19 has gone on to super soft tyres.
And Mike is off the track.
Tell you what, we haven't talked of much is actually Wellesley Bob.
Well, he's just got past Mike. He's in 5th position. That's
Keeping his nose
solid.
nice and clean. Apart from the getting caught up in some sort of something happened in turn 2 on the first lap, but apart from that he's keeping nice and clean. But again though, in the second race, Mayhem's just pulling away.
Yeah, the gap is 6.3 seconds now.
But again, it's a Toro Rosso 2-3. So now we've got Mercedes, Toro Rosso, Mercedes in the top 4.
I wonder how long it takes Dave to catch up to Solman, if he can do that at all. Gap is... Oh.
This is where it gets complicated now because it's obviously the 14.3s to leader.
Yes, he
About
did do
4
a bit
seconds.
maths. Yeah, you can see them in the same camera shot going onto this the back straight. I think they will probably be on his gearbox in a couple of laps time.
I do believe Mike Whiteside has pitted.
I wonder if he changed the wheel or if he's changing tyres. It's a little bit early, isn't it? Lap 7.
It might be because of damage with J19. Maybe. Because J9, or his previous incident, is J19's going into the chicane, and Mike's still going down. Mike Whiteside is now entering the braking zone for the chicane. He's now 45 seconds behind the lead. Dave's taken about half a second out of Soulman in the previous lap.
But he doesn't have the pace of his teammate, even though he's on the faster tyre. Looks like no one's going to touch Mayhem today, really. Especially now we have a dry race. You know, it's not actually catching someone as quickly as I first thought.
Which then proves again the quality of the pace of
Someone's driving.
Yeah. A massive step forward from the first race. And
Well, I know
it seems to be
Solman
just a race
did
on
the
by
test
race
race.
confidence.
So Solman did the test race on Wednesday, or the practice race.
Yeah.
And I think he only did about half of it.
But he didn't. But look at the test race he did at Monaco. He did 1 lap, but still finished on the podium. So maybe the podium has given that bit of a confidence boost.
It's true.
Anyway, as our leader now goes on to his 10th lap. So now they've done the one truck qualifying. How would that affect the tyres?
Well, I'm not quite sure actually. I haven't sat down and measured and looked at the wear at the beginning of the race once we've done one. But you'd imagine that it would be less. And you're only using one set of tyres, so you still get your allocation of tyres, so they have many more sets of fresh tyres for this race. We don't know what their allocations are, how many sets of super softs they've got, or if they've gone up for ultra soft.
Also depends if they've gone harder. If they've gone more conservative. Oh, Soulman's just hit the water hairpin. Gets away with it. Maybe starting to feel the slight pressure of Dave 1025 just starting to slowly creep his way up behind Soulman. It's interesting.
The tyres are probably not being as good as they were as well.
It's interesting to see the driving styles through the final chicane, seeing who's got confidence in the car to actually chuck it in. It seems like quite a few of the drivers are taking it quite easy so they don't hit the infamous champion's wall.
Yeah, you need a lot of confidence, but you also don't want to crash.
No, that might also have something to do with it.
But at the same time, you can make so much time, or you can lose so much time with that through that chicane.
It's more a case of how you want to lose as little time as possible rather than gain as much time as possible. It's easier to, as you say, easier to lose than to gain. Now, is Dave in the DRS zone now? Excuse me, the other Toro Rosso Soulman?
No, he's not, but he looks like he's just about within a second now.
Oh,
he bumbled across the chicane there.
Yeah. Where's the Bob looking in the background?
He's still in the background.
There? I'm going back to the pace of Mike Mayhem, now on lap 12, and the gap's 21. So didn't you say that they had a coming together or something in the first lap or something with another driver?
He was overtaken by Soulman at the beginning of the race. And then he was trying to get past on the first lap, and at the beginning of the second lap he overtook Soulman, but then as he kind of switched in front, Soulman looked like he ran into left of him. And they have given him a bit of a nudge to spin him round. Obviously it won't be one that...
Definitely in DRS zone now. Soulman gets slightly better traction coming out the hairpin. Will that make much of a difference?
Probably not. He's
not catching, is he?
No, he's not. Maybe he's...
Whoa, he's going in the pit lane.
Oh,
that nearly caught Dave out. Now, this is very early. Very, very early for a pit stop. Oh, but Wellesley Bob's also pitting. Look, the Renault mechanics are back out. Someone goes back on to another set of ultra soft tyres.
Interesting, maybe he wants an undercut. And J19 is coming around into turn 1 as well. Looks like
Wellesley Bob
is just
also on a set of ultra soft, sorry. Did you say J19 has now gone up to 5th place?
He has. He says he's slotted in between these two, and he's on his super soft, so he should be steady.
This might actually put them back on, might put J19 back onto a similar sort of strategy to Soulman and Welty Bob.
Definitely gives him options now. These guys did come in pretty early.
Now, we've got to ask ourselves, was that strategic, or is that a problem with the tyre wear?
Well, we can't say for sure, but Soulman was being caught, and maybe he was feeling the pressure, and maybe the tyres were starting to kind of, they weren't their best, so maybe he just felt like he wouldn't spin in. But yeah, he now has to, he's got a bit of work to do.
He certainly hasn't prompted any other pit stops.
No, J19, oh, and here we go, got a very bad exit out of the chicane. J19 is passed.
Going off the line, starts to squeeze. Contact! Let's do that! No!
Well, it was a bit too hot there, I think. He's away though. Good on him for having a fight, but...
See what the stewards make of that.
Welty Bob is in the pits again.
I wonder if he hit recovering... Oh no, because if he's in the pit lane now, I wonder if he went on the wrong tyres.
No, he would have stayed out. He must have had a drive-through or something, because he's now in 7th place, a minute and 11 seconds behind the leader, so he'll be being lapped. So Mike's gone up into 6th. He's about 9 seconds up the road from Welty Bob.
Yeah, Mike.
And then we've got Simon in 5th.
Yeah, Mike Mayhem's only a couple of corners behind Welty Bob now.
So Simon in 5th, J19 up into 4th on his...
Dave is in the pit lane. The
and he's on with it. And here comes J19. J19 now is in 3rd position.
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
not necessarily.
So side by side. J19's got the inside though.
But Dave will have the fresher tyres. Remember, J19's rubber, ooh, that's close to the wall, is about 11 laps old. So all Dave really needs to do, he's gone wide, he's done a Vettel. Dave should have the extra Dave should have the extra traction just to go past him now.
But he wasn't that quick in a straight line. He's got it done there. J19 will have DRS now.
Yes. But is he too far back now to capitalise on the straight line speed?
Let's see.
So,
I can't remember if J19 started on those tyres or not.
No, he started the race on ultra softs and then got caught up in with something with Mike Whitehouse and Whitesides, excuse me, sorry, and Soulman, and I think he lost parts of the front wing then. So he pitted then for super softs, but it has sort of brought him back into the game. Maybe for a podium now.
So Dave was on the ultras, which he started on.
Yep.
He didn't pit, so they were his set of times. He was 15 laps.
Yes, 14 laps. Yes. So whoa, Dave!
Oh, and he's gone. He's gone.
Hasn't crashed out, but must have lost parts of his front wing.
Well, I don't know if I can see it, but it looks okay to me. Yeah, he seems to carry speed.
Looks okay from the onboard. You see, his green indicator on the dash is lit up for saying pit. So I'd imagine that means he has got damage to his front wing. We'll see if he pits this time by. No.
No.
Going on again. So if
I expect these two guys to do the battle, and you can see just behind them as well, Soulman, not too far away.
Yep, they're covering Soulman. the Green Mayhem is pulling away from Putterland, but not exponentially per lap. It's only gone up a couple of seconds in the last sort of 4 or 5 laps. It's now up to 12 seconds.
Yeah, he's doing well on these ultras. He's kind of bringing them into the window you would normally expect. So maintaining a good pace. And what is he ahead of J19? So he's got a pit stop in his pocket as well.
You've got to remember as well, because Dave, I would definitely say, is now on a 2-stop strategy. He's on sort of the optimal one, where you go on the soft tyre and then pits about lap 45 for a set of...
Change to supers.
No, ultra softs again. Because then that'll be only 25 laps to the end.
But considering he only did 15 laps on those start, or 14, could he manage that?
Lighter fuel loads, remember? But you are right, of course it would be easier on the super softs.
It's a gamble. I mean, you've got to worry about punches here. It's not just tyre wear that causes punches, but riding the curbs.
Scraping walls.
I got a puncture in Abu Dhabi and I had like 4% tyre wear once. It was a bit random, but it happens.
I thought they would slow down for a minute. I don't know if it was just because it was clamping the curbs quite a lot in Champions Wall. It's got to be a bit careful with that and wearing tyres.
And Mayhem is coming to lap Wellsybog now. Blue flags are flying.
I was going to say, that Williams reminds me of Massey's Williams in the back of Perez. In that position.
Is that 15? It was 15, wasn't it?
Yes, last year. Right. J19 has pulled away a little bit from Dave 25 now.
That's the thing about soft tyres. They obviously have a good tyre life.
Oh, scraped the wall. Sorry, carry on.
Was that Mayhem or
no, it was Dave.
No, I was just going to ask. They don't have a ton of grip, do they? They're not brilliantly performing tyre. You've got to work hard on them.
Putterland's pitted, I think. Unless he's made a mistake somewhere.
This is interesting. Mayhem is trying to get past Wellsybog. Wellsybog used to lift off the gas when he gets off the racing line. He's not... There we go, now he's past.
If I... Did Putterland pit, or did he make a mistake? No, Putterland had a drive-through.
Oh, for...
Give me a minute. Putterland had a drive-through because...
Collision or jump start?
Give me a minute, hang on. I'm just trying to find it. Speeding in the pit lane. Lap 18. Was that this lap or last lap?
It must have been the last lap because he's now just done his drive-through. Right. He is on the ultra soft tyre, so sticking with the speedy stuff. Oh, and he nearly does a yellow trilly.
Has he?
Yeah, I've just watched the drive-through now. So
there's nothing else.
That was his first pit stop.
Yes. Yeah. So he must have made a mistake then. Somewhere then, because he lost about 10 seconds off.
Obviously on this game in 2016 we've had the introduction of manual pit entries, and this circuit is probably where that makes a big difference. You can so easily brake too late and there's nothing you can do about it.
This is interesting. I'm looking at the lap times now. The drive-through he did on lap 18. Yeah.
The drive-through must have been gained on lap 18. He would have got the penalty on lap 18 when he came into the pits.
So that's interesting because he did a 1:31.6 on the lap he received the drive-through. Because on the previous lap, lap 19, he did a 1:30.5, which is obviously the lap he did his drive-through on. The question,
you get the drive-through when you come into the pits, and that's before the timing line.
yes. So unless he, well, no, he couldn't have done. Unless he cut across one of the chicanes too much, and the game's given him a drive-through for it.
Possibly. I've never seen that though, and it did say speeding in the pit lane. So
Yeah.
he definitely would have got a drive-through for that. He also, it looked like he's taken the drive-through. He looked like he took the drive-through straight away, so...
I'm only thinking why he lost about 10 seconds to Mayhem on a lap. But anyway, back to real time now. What has this done? That puts Alan's drive-throughs in 2 slow laps. It's now puts him 40 seconds behind Mayhem, but only 5 seconds now in front of J19.
And then, fastest lap from putting in, so getting good use out of those times. J19's going to be struggling a little bit, but we've got Dave.
I'm getting a message.
3 or so seconds.
Sorry, I'm getting a message through the pit lane saying that Putterland have a 12-second pit stop, so I wonder if he had to change his front wing. So he probably sped too much going into the pit lane, had his pit stop, gone back on Ultrasofts again, gone round once, done his drive-through, and then carried on again.
That makes kind of sense. I wonder how he damaged his front wing. He had pretty good pace before. I wonder if he maybe damaged it coming in. If you brake a bit late coming in the pit lane and you're braking hard,
Mayhem's now pitted just to update you. Interestingly, he's gone on the ultra soft tyre.
So he's going for a nice comfortable race. Well, actually no. Yeah, it is interesting. Why not the super soft?
Or soft and get them out of the way.
Maybe he's seeing those purple lap times flash up by someone else and he's not happy about that.
Maybe. But he's also got a green pit indicator. Has he sped in the pit lane as well?
Well, that would be very interesting. This Covenant is only about 23 seconds behind him, 23.5 seconds. That would really time the race up. Let's stick on board with him and see what happens.
We're coming down the back straight now. No. See if that green indicator goes. No, it doesn't. Okay, has he got a penalty or something?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, it's possible if you have a drive-through penalty, you can stay out 3 laps, can't you?
No, he hasn't got a drive-through. So I wonder if that's just a glitch.
Yeah, maybe he's damaged his wing then. But
Possibly.
Yeah, he could have done that just coming out. Looks okay.
Putland now's pulled away 9 seconds to J19 now. Who's now on about his 20... in the 20s now on the lap?
Yep, something like that. He's doing well on his tyres. Dave has not managed to catch. He's on the slower tyre, but a much fresher, slower tyre. Almost 1/3 distance, I think, now. And there we go, Mayhem doing 15.5. Fastest lap of the race so far. So lap 25 of the GP2 Canadian Grand Prix. At the moment it's Mayhem well out in front. Haviland in second place. J19 in third. And chased by Dave 1025. Barman in fifth. Rosie Bob in sixth. And Mike Whiteside in seventh. Closest battle on track right now is Dave 1025, who's trying to chase J19. It's kind of a bit static at the moment. But maybe you might expect Dave to kind of close it in a bit as J19's tyres start to get a bit warm. Which they will be doing.
We've only got 2 cars that have been lapped. This is Mike Whiteside. And what was it, Bob?
So J19 locking up at the chicane there, he did, and Dave has got close right up to his gearbox, well not quite his gearbox, but much closer. Heligan. This is a really good circuit, definitely one of the favourite circuits on the calendar. Very fast track, but also like a street track, very narrow, you've got barriers, damage your car, not careful.
So if we still go back to J19 for a minute, if we're saying we do 41 laps instead of super soft, which no one in their right mind would do, let's say we do about 30 laps. It's not coming too far. Not too far away from J19's first proper pit stop. And in fact he comes in.
Oh, and there you go. There you go. Yeah, I think he was struggling on those tyres.
So he's done about 24 laps.
Yeah, that looks about it. I mean, I don't think Dave is going to go to the end on his set of soft tyres. I think he'll pit again. So J19 puts the softs on. He'll likely retain his third position when Dave pits again, and then he'll be able to pit again. No, won't really.
The interesting one will be that Mayhem pitted on about lap 24 with his ultra softs.
I think it was a little bit before that. He's done about three fastest laps now.
So does that mean? So when will he next hit? 40? Is yours burnt off a little bit?
Yeah, you could probably get to lap 40. He looks very comfortable. Haviland who just sat there quietly, 30 seconds behind.
Yeah. I mean, Dave 10.25 is another 15 seconds back.
It's taking half a tenth every time. Just a little bit quicker. It's good consistency from the ultra soft tyres though.
They're the ones who in theory should have the less slip and should struggle more with thermal wear rather than losing rubber on the surface.
Yeah, I mean this track as well doesn't have the high speed corners where you're going to be scrubbing off that rubber, but it does have. Look, there's a car smoking.
Oh, which one?
I think it's the Williams or
The Williams?
or the Manor. On just off the track at turn 1. It's just started smoking.
Oh, so it's not a
Yeah,
car
but
that's
yeah,
actually in the race, then the smoke
No.
is right.
And I was just saying, yeah, this track doesn't really have the high-speed corners that's going to degrade the tyres of the rubber, but it's the traction which causes the thermal degradation. Do you remember when we were racing around China? That had massive amounts of degradation just because of the prolonged high-speed corners.
Yes.
But the tyres were so fragile.
Also, wasn't Russia like that as well? Because that was also they run the ultra soft tyre battle, don't they? No, sorry, no, they don't. The super softs. Sorry.
That had some pretty high wear, but I remember China just being a good practice in the qualifying. Driving,
Spain.
doing out laps.
Spain.
I think China was the worst, partly because of the qualifying tyre was very soft. But you would just drive out of the pits very, very slowly, wind up for a fast lap.
Whoa,
and
Dave's
then...
out. Big time out.
Ooh,
Champions wall. Lost 2 wheels.
interesting. Soulman and J19 are coming up.
Will that cause
Yes.
a safety car?
Well, that should cause a safety car.
As there's a loose wheel going across the start line. So is that J19 that's caught up to the back of...
It is. He's
Soulman.
right on the back of Soulman now. And now these guys are fighting for podium. I think it looked like Dave probably was in a better position than J19. Because J19 would have had to have gone to the end on these tyres to had a hope of fighting for that third place, but now it's a lot more open between these two. Other than J19 has passed Soulman. Soulman is going to have some DRS though, right? Oh, that was completely unnecessary.
So what was that? Because I was on board on the wrong side of J19's front wing there.
Soulman tried to move on the inside of the hairpin. It was ambitious. There was contact, and it meant that they went very wide, very deep, trying to turn in. And Soulman, yeah, he's hit. I don't know if that's tyres, but he touched the wall as he was trying to turn the car around, and he may have done the wing.
Is that Mayhem in the background? Look, it has to be, because he's the only Mercedes left. As we now approach half distance.
No, yep, Soulman did have to change his wing.
And meanwhile, old quiet racer Wellesley Bob is now up to 3rd.
Oh.
I think. Oh no, sorry, he's still in 4th. I'm not 4th. But he might have. That's just an unlap himself on Soulman.
Yeah, that was a bit hasty by Soulman there, because he was in DRS. He just needed to stay on J19's gearbox. Didn't need to do a risky move, and he would have, been able to pass much easier. Maybe not everyone is aware of where the activation or the detection zone, I should say, for the DRS is, because it's a kind of an advantage of where it is on this track.
Yeah. Yeah, Mayhem's taking it very easy now through the final chicane now. It's not even going on the higher parts of the curbs anymore. So who have we got left? We've got Mayhem in the leading. Put to land 40 seconds back now. J19's now up to 3rd. Ah, that's why Wells Bob's not in 3rd, because J19's in 3rd. So I'm in 4th. Wellesley Bob back down to 5th again.
And then we've got Mike in 6th.
And then Mike's still pounding around in 6th. The battle for 5th is going to get fairly heated soon because Mike's catching Willsy Bob. Gap's only 4 seconds.
Now, Mike, has he pitted recently? He must have done. Because he's still on Ultras and they can't have been the tyres he started on. He's going to be pretty quick. Ooh, deep into that chicane there. I think he's pushing a bit.
In the background, is that Putterland in the background behind?
There is someone behind them, yeah.
Yes, Putterland. There's quite a lot of people in this race.
Pits.
Is that for a drive-through or is that for an actual pit stop? No, it looks like for a pit stop. I can see some wheels with some invisible pit crew standing by.
Ultras again?
Again?
Well.
Oh, for front wing damage, he just got glitched backwards.
Change, yeah, he's on Ultras. They changed the tyres, so.
Again? He's going to run out of Ultras in this race, isn't he?
Well, they did have plenty of Ultras from having a one-shot qualifying, but.
You know, that ruins the battle. The battle for 5th was Mike lets Putterland through. Soulman has pitted again, by the way. He's now on the softer tyre, so he does not, in theory, he doesn't need to pit again. Because he's using the
I think he put that soft tyre on when he came in last time out, and when he damaged his wing.
Yes, that's what he might have done. Yes. Of course, we know J19's also on the soft, but has now been lapped by Mayhem. So as we stand, only half distance now. Only 2 drivers are on the lead lap. There are Mayhem and Putterland.
Oh, and Mike Whiteside has just gone a bit deep there in turn 2.
Any damage or? Just go straight across.
He kind of went wide. I think he might have got away with it. I'm not sure though if you actually can see all of the damage that cars have from spectator view.
I wonder if Mayhem's still got that. Mayhem's still got that wing damage. I think it must be because the pit indicator's still green. So he must have damage to the front wing somewhere. So whether or not he's brushed a wall somewhere.
Yeah, again, I can't really see anything. It looks fine to me, but I don't think you see minor damage in spectator view. You see a whole wing come off, but not winglets.
It's all a bit stagnated at the moment.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to come together a little bit.
Yeah, period of the race where everyone's doing their own sort of thing, and not just playing as it is. Now, we're coming up to about lap 40, so Mayhem would have been on these tyres coming up to
15, 16 laps, I think
16
it was.
laps, yes. Which is what people have been normally doing on these ultra softs. He does obviously have a pit stop in hand over Putterland.
At least one.
At least one, yes. Puzzland just went a little bit deep into the chicane, but got away with it. Be a case of will Mayhem just go on another set of ultra softs and then do the final 10 laps or something on softs, or will he just say no, just go on softs to the end?
Well, he might as well put some softs on, because he has to get the mandatory tyre out of the way, and then he can always come in and put some ultra softs if he wants to at the end. Then it's a bit risky going for fastest laps. He wants to win the race. That's got to be his priority.
Continue his winning streak.
It is. I mean, this is becoming a bit unprecedented, really. Oops.
Don't mind that. I'm just chucking my notes out the window.
So this is the 7th race of the season, isn't it? Canada. So that would be 7 wins for Mayhem. 7 wins in a row.
Yep.
175 points.
And that will extend his lead by another 25 points to David Ward, who's arguably his closest rival in the championship. But would that put Puttaland up to second?
To be honest, I haven't got the table in front of me, so I should be able to work it out.
My notes, that was the one thing I didn't put down on my notes. The championship order now.
Unfortunately, I only have my phone next to me and it's about to die. But yeah, I mean, Puttaland has been putting in some good performances this season. Driving really quickly, getting lots of points, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was in that position at the end of this race.
Lap 39 out of 70. Getting to the middle stages of the race. We now Mayhem still leads. Whoa, that was close. Had a massive moment in the chicane.
Yeah, he's just starting lap 40 now.
So that means the rear tyres are starting to wear on him a little bit. Front tyres look okay. There's a couple of lines of graining starting to happen on the rears. Is he out of the traction zones? Seems to be okay out of the traction zones.
Traction's good. He's obviously got the car nicely balanced. Because that corner that he just came out of, that chicane there. Ooh, it's
you want to say that again?
Well, I think that time was caused by maybe getting on the grass. But
right, okay, so let's try. How's out here? Again,
yeah,
good traction.
Sounds good. So yeah, he's got a nicely balanced car.
What's he do this time into the chicane? Does it take a little bit slower? More conservative? Nope. 4 wheels all on the curb. But no.
Oh, someone else is in the pits.
Carries on again. That must be Wellesley Bob. Yep, he's gone on the softer tyre this time. Comes out another lap behind the leader. That puts him now 2 laps down.
I wonder if he was had some wing damage, because he wasn't in that long ago.
No.
It's less than 10 laps, I think.
Mike's also pitted as well. He's now also on the softer tyre. So people now, as the fuel's starting to burn off, going to go on a harder tyre for it to be a bit easier at the end of the race?
Whereas, I think technically the optimal strategy is always to run that softer tyre, or the hardest tyre, at the end of the race when the car is lightest and you can manage it more. But strategically, I think it's better to get it out of the way earlier on in the race.
Then you can go really quickly on the softest tyres. Was Putterland pitted as well? Yes, Putterland's pitted. He's now on the softer tyre as well. So the only driver to not be on the soft tyre is our race leader. And has yet to use his mandatory set of tyres.
I have a feeling Wellesley Bob is fairly close to Mike.
Yes, he is indeed,
yeah, they
yes.
Are. Both on lap 40 as well. They've got...
He's got a battle hotting up for 5th.
Yeah, he's got to let Mike pass as well, Mayhem, so it's going to cost him a bit of time.
And he's got to get the momentum back up again, as admittedly
Wellesley Bob
just goes, yeah.
Right across the chicane. And deep as well. He's going to burn those tyres out.
This is the thing, you see, well, when you go on the softer tyre, obviously that you get more effective understeer because the rear tyres have got more grip, but when you go onto the harder tyres, the balance shifts backwards. So then the rear tyres then become more oversteery as you've got less initial bite from them. So yeah, and a bit of grass tracking from Wellesley Bob there.
I would suspect this guy may have a couple of penalties.
Would you like me to see who has and has not got penalties?
You don't have to. Maybe if you want to.
Well, I know Putterland's got a couple, if I remember rightly. I would not be surprised if everyone has got at least one penalty at the end of this race. But this race could be depending on who has and who has not got penalties. The battle that's curiousing me is where's J19 in relation to Putterland? He's 17 seconds behind Putterland now. Both on the same tyres. Putterland, you'd imagine, is going to the end. J19 as he locks up going into the final chicane. I
think J19 may have to stop again.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Would you imagine J19 would pit for a set of ultra softs, which he hasn't used in this race yet, because he's only done 2 laps on them, I think. And do a sort of last 20 laps or something on the set of ultras, and try and terrorise Putterland to making a final stop.
That would be a good... and Wellesley's cutting the chicane again. I would think that would probably be his best strategy, because if he just tries to do the same thing, he's never going to catch him. But even just trying to spook him into doing something different may help him. And even if Putterland does come in, by the time he's reacted, he may have closed the gap.
There's a pit symbol coming up on Wellesley Bob's steering wheel. Nice for a drive-through or something. Woo!
And he's now right across the chicane. He's catching Mike. He's definitely catching Mike.
Mike would argue that he's using grass tracking routes
an advantage,
to catch up.
Well, if that's the case, then I would expect Wellesley to have a few penalties on his added to his time.
But we don't know how many penalties Mike's got, though. I mean, that's an invalid. That's a warning there.
It's tricky, that one. That first apex is blind. Oh, Mike gets a little bit wide there.
It is quite easy to get warnings and penalties on this track, as there's such a little
margin for error, and I think because drivers are pushing as well so much, and again, Wellsy's pushing too much.
It's interesting. Mike's taking the hairpin in second gear, and Wellesley Bob's taking him first. I mean, different diff setups playing in that.
Yeah, do you think that's Wellesley's trying to get the car slowed down quicker?
Maybe, yes. Interesting. Has Mayhem pitted again?
I don't know.
Because
is the closer?
The green pit indicator's gone. No.
Well, it's lap 44. What tyres is he on?
He's on ultra softs.
He's on
again.
ultras, so he had.
Unless.
No, hang on a second. No, he hasn't. He hasn't pitted. He couldn't have pitted.
Maybe it was just a glitch or something funny going on with the game. Right, I can now see Wellesley Bob's name behind Whiteside.
Wow, I mean, actually, he's on lap 46. He's only pitted once. Mayhem is doing a fantastic job on those tyres. They must be, according to the result screen at the moment, he's only coming to the pits
Would you
once.
like to ride on board with Wellesley Bob? He's trying to line up Mike. It might have been a bit of a touch there going into the hairpin. Wellesley Bob's now sort of dropped back a little bit.
Does he have DRS? Looks like it.
Does he go straight on into the pit lane again? Nope.
It looks like Wellesley Bob's turning in a bit too early into that final chicane.
Is there a lead car coming up behind
these guys? I think somebody is behind them. It might have been the Ferrari.
It's J19, yes.
Oh, and again, Wellesley's across the grass.
J19 struggling with a little bit of understeer, probably from... I think J19 effectively, remember, has only done one stop as well, because he'd made his first actual pit stop on like lap 2 or something after he had damage with his front wing. So he's theoretically only done one stop, and I think he pitted on about lap 24, I think. So he's done about 22 laps on his set of tyres already. Mayhem is coming up to lap Putterland.
Wow, lapping the field.
On a 1 minute 14-15 lap, to do it in, we can start to just about see him in some corners on lap 48, kind of shows the level of dominance the Mayhem has had this season. Anyway, back on board with Wellesley Bob.
He's catching Mike again.
It's sort of going out like a bit of a yo-yo. I think Wellesley Bob gets a little bit excited, cuts some of the corners, then catches up to Whiteside, then gets a bit scared of him taking him out, and then sort of drops back a little bit, and then sort of repeats process.
Only he gained a big advantage then in that last chicane.
Oh, Whiteside goes a little bit wide. Wellesley Bob's got DRS. Short shift
He might
to
got
A.
good exit though.
Yeah.
Even though he went wide. See, Wellesley just turned in too early. He's still braking and
It doesn't really affect his line. It doesn't affect him in time though. To Mike. Ooh.
Interesting.
Getting
I'm wondering
really
if
close.
Rosie Bob has got a bit more downforce on than Mike.
Yeah. Where's J19 in all this? He's about a couple of seconds further back still. So for his sakes, he hopes.
Wellesley just clouted the barrier there. He must have got damage from that.
I wasn't on board with them at that point. I was on board with J19 behind.
Can't see anything, but he'd be lucky to get away with that. Just kind of came around that bit just before you brake and just went too far to the left.
Yep, Mayhem's still catching Putterland. Does he now pit? No. And how many laps has now Mayhem done on this set of tyres?
He has done at least just like 30. I can't be right.
No, I would imagine he's done about 20. I reckon he's done about 24. 24, I think. 24, 25, 26. And he's now lapped Putterland.
That's still a remarkable effort on a set of ultra softs. I think everybody in F1 will be watching that pretty keenly.
I think this is quite why. I think this is why GP2 race is reasonably well viewed to see what the tyres are actually doing in a racing situation with as the GP2 guys are doing this race. Whiteside again goes wide into that hairpin, but Wellesley Bob's a little bit cautious. Whoa, Mike's really close to the wall there.
That's the interesting thing, having the soft tyre as a mandatory tyre, because it's not the optimal tyre to use.
No.
Again, Wellesley Bob's just wide. But it's
is he going to try up the inside of the hairpin? No, slide too far back.
No, I wonder if these blue flags are flying already.
Yeah, because that for J19 behind.
But you think
Who
Wells
also has DRS on Wellesley Bob, that was close. Ooh, Wellesley Bob, so close. Oh, and then he hit the wall.
Now, is he going to let J19 past?
If he's got damage, he has to anyway, but...
And I think... No, he doesn't seem to have any damage that I can see. No, he actually needs to get out of the way now because he's had more than 3 corners.
But he's probably not going to do that because Mike's still there. But if Wellesley Bob would be clever, he'd done what one of the F1 drivers had done in Spain, to stay behind the faster car, and then when the faster car gets by the other lapped car, he might have a better run.
I think J19 probably is going to get a bit miffed about this though. That's a lap now with blue flags.
What's the gap anyway between J19 and Putterland?
They just went out. Back Sorry, the gap between J19 and Putterland.
Got 21 seconds.
Oh, Wellesley again has hit the wall.
Stay right, stay right, stay right. There we go, it's through.
Oh!
What happened there? Just saw in the rear view mirror.
He has deliberately crashed his car.
Right, will that be a safety car? As it is in the pit lane exit? I don't know.
Well, that's a bit contentious. We had that happen by another driver in Monaco, and that driver was punished because it's against the rules. So I'm guessing Wellesley must have damaged his wing as he came out of the World Champions, and then maybe was a bit frustrated, but don't want to see drivers deliberately crashing cars.
Mike's just let J19 break. So we've now got 5 runners. 2 more drop out, we've gone back to Monaco again.
Well, there's only 20 laps to go. It's easier, quote unquote, than Monaco because you at least rest a bit on the straight and there aren't so many barriers, but still a tough race.
And remember, Mayhem still has to use the softer tyre. Oh, he has now pitted, saying that. Now I've noticed that he has gone on the softer tyre now. He is now on the soft tyre.
I was going to say, I'd be amazed if he was still still out on the second set of tyres.
But
stupendous effort.
Right, does J19's now 21 seconds behind Putterland, which is a pit stop, agreed. Because he's easily safe from Soulman, who's in 4th, who's actually he's on the same lap as J19. Would you just say make hay and just pit for super soft or ultra softs and super softs and try and catch up the car on the used tyre?
Well, I suppose he's got nothing to lose, he might as well, but he'll be 40 seconds. The gap seems to have grown a bit now. I mean, I suppose he might as well try it, but Hovland's going to be able to react. He'll have plenty of time to react. And I have a annoying sound glitch.
Yeah, I do as well. Was you on board with Wellesley Bob when he crashed? Oh, I've had the glitch since Dave 25 crashed. So going well. Right, so Putterland's now. I'm keeping a close eye on this gap. He's now 19 seconds behind. J19, we are sure, has to pit again because he will not do another 17 laps on these tyres. If you knew you had if you knew you couldn't finish the race, what?
Hovland just got very deep into the last chicane and had to backed out of it well.
Right, okay, so he's also so he's a minute and 9 behind Mayhem and
Mayhem is just in the background.
Of course, he has to re-lap him because of obviously he'd unlapped himself during the pit stops. But J19 has also made a slight error in the final chicane as well, but the gap's just hovering around the 19-second mark.
Yeah, J19's tyres are going to be older, so he's going to be struggling more.
Ooh, J19's just brushed the wall.
I mean, I suppose he might as well come and pit.
Yeah.
He's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Might as well at least try something. Hovland just needs to keep his cool. I think he's just needs to keep driving some consistent laps and he's good.
Then Soulman's just on his own in 4th. Easily safe from Whiteside, but possibly and a bit too far behind J19.
As you were saying earlier, good race by Soulman.
Yep.
Being consistent, being quick.
Well, this is the thing, is he got after his Monaco podium, would you have said that would have been luck, as everyone else had retired? Or was that actually a good piece of racecraft and trying to get to the finish?
Well, exactly. The whole adage, you've got to finish to finish.
To finish first you must finish.
Exactly. So if you manage to not crash at Monaco, that's an achievement in itself, because that's a lot of skill required, concentration. I think again we've seen Dave be really quick. He's been quick last season. He's quick this season, but without the practicing.
Is this Dave 25?
Yeah, Dave 10:25. Without doing too much practice to actually be prepared for the race. He hasn't finished a single race this season. Which again I think is also unprecedented. We've never had a driver not finish a race for 7 races. or not, and then not score any points in the season. But yeah, it's not an easy game, F1.
So who's the top rookie? Would it be J19 in third?
Yes, it would be, because he wasn't. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't there last season. Well, he might have been.
I mean, would you? I mean, I wouldn't consider Mayhem with the current performances he's been putting in rookie-ish.
Well, I think Mayhem was there last season. I mean, I'm kind of someone that springs to mind would be Solman, because he's definitely
Solman is definitely a rookie.
But he's doing very well. Solid, scoring points.
Calmed down a little bit from the first couple of races as well.
Yeah, but I mean, as all people that are new to league racing just need to get used to it. It's a lot to take on if you're not familiar with it, kind of all the rules, the procedures, and then understanding how you do a race, strategy, setups as well, tyres, fuel, and then racecraft, and doing all that whilst kind of being on the limit as much as you can.
But anyway, the leader has now only got 12 laps to go. So just starting to start to get into now the final few laps of the race now. I was going to say, there's 3 cars going quite closely in proximity to each other.
Well, that was, is that Solman doing that?
Oh, it's Putterland. Putterland's just gone wide at the hairpin, but on the entry. But is Putterland going to be putting a lap on his teammate?
It looked like Solman that just maybe clipped the wall there.
I think Putterland went a little bit deep going into the hairpin and then went off the track, but no harm done. Still got nice, easy control in the chicane, so showing that he's comfortable.
Fastest lap there, 1:15.3, only marginally faster than his previous best, but on the slowest of the tyres. Very good effort.
Who's done the fastest lap? Sorry, stupid question. What's the fastest lap that Mayhem's done?
He had just done it. It was a 1:15.314, I believe. And his previous fastest lap was a 1:15.3 something. So he shaved a few hundredths of his best. But he did do it a long time ago when he did a few successive fastest laps when he put his second set of ultra softs on at the first stop.
Mayhem, Whiteside, is pitted again for a set of super softs.
Yeah, I think he's seeing out the race.
So he's only got 13 laps to go. That means Mayhem's got 11? I think he's still 2 laps ahead, maybe now 3 laps ahead.
Just on board with Solman, and he's on lap 58.
10 laps to go.
Lap 60. 10 plus the one we're on. Oh, J19 is in the pits, and he's doing what we said. He's on the ultra softs. Now, he's probably left it a bit late, you would have imagined, but...
Oh, is J19 finally pitted again now, is he?
And he's also, looks like he's had a front wing change, which is going to drop him back even further.
Where's Solman? Oh, Solman's... He's definitely safe from Solman. Solman's pitted again as well. He's on super softs, and Putterland's got
Yeah,
3/4 of a
J19.
lap in front of J19, but J19 has to re-lap Mike Whiteside again.
Yeah, exactly. He's just come up behind Mike, so that's not going to be great, but he'll get past him pretty quickly.
There you go.
And
straight
Mike
away.
lets him go. That was very, very good of Mike there.
Right, so the Putterland has just crossed the line now.
I think we'll be seeing some faster slaps from J19, I would imagine.
He's got to be careful though, he's in a decent position. Still for his
Doesn't
own
want to throw it
personal
away.
championship battle. We have a look
Well,
at this.
90% is lap 63.
Yes. Yes.
All drivers who make it onto lap 63, or complete lap 63 I should say, will then be guaranteed the points.
This has been plain sailing, hasn't it?
For Mayhem,
Yeah.
it has. I mean, no one was able to challenge
And
him at the beginning.
in a way, it's also been already been pretty smooth sailing for Putterland as well. Because ever since he passed Soulman, he really hasn't been challenged either.
I was just going to say, like, it's been like that for Mayhem for most of the Grand Prix. He gets a clean start, he almost kind of does a bit of a Vettel when he was at Red Bull getting a gap, and then he just manages his race, utilising his pace. And I think everyone else, they need to just basically try and jump start him at the race and force him into racing everyone, and
Yeah.
that would then change characteristics
A
of
bit
the
like what
race.
happened at Russia, when Mayer made a mistake and he had to come back through the field, might have been from a safety car. If I remember rightly. Anyway, 8 to go.
Yeah, I'm just watching J19 now because he's on his first flying lap on these tyres.
I'm guessing he is is catching Putterland, but nowhere near at the rate he needs to.
Well, he's going to be about 30 seconds behind him, isn't he? Because he changed his front wing, so it was about 20 seconds. No, sorry, it'd be more than that because it was 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was 20 seconds, yeah.
Then it was a pit stop plus a wing change, so that's another 30 seconds. So, best chunk of a minute, shall we say.
This race will affect the championship.
Because
Obviously, it doesn't affect Mayhem. Ignore Mayhem. But ignore J19 as well, because he's already second in the championship. But Soulman, who's in 4th place in the championship, is 15 points behind David. Oh no, it won't affect the championship. It will be 2 points behind David Ward going into Baku after the Christmas break.
well, that's a fantastic achievement from Solomon, actually. I bet you if you said to him, by the time we get to Baku, you'll be 4th in the championship. Or not just him, but I think many
Actually,
people, they wouldn't
can I
think
go
that
back
was
on that
right.
statement? Sorry.
Have you got it wrong?
I haven't got it completely wrong, but if my maths is correct, which it sometimes isn't, we'll have Mayhem first, J19 second on 81, so ignore them two. David Ward's on 48, and will remain at 48. And Soulman will have 12 more points, so that will put him on 45. Barley not here. Yeah. Whiteside will be on 38 points, so he's only 10 points behind David Ward. Callum 24, not going to score. Putterland is on 23 points. So that would put him on...
Is Putterland only on 23 points?
Yeah, that'll put...
He did have some penalties.
Yeah, that'll put him on 41 points.
Wow, so this battle for third basically is going to be pretty close by a couple of drivers.
Yeah. Third, fourth, fifth and sixth will be separated by 10 points.
I'm surprised to see Putterland down there, but he has had penalty, and I think he's been improving quite a lot since the season started, so he's now kind of getting into his groove a bit more.
Also, as we say, it's just trying to get out the excitement of trying to do well, try and win the race in the first corner, and actually be quite clever about it and try and win the race on the last lap rather than on the first one.
Well, I think with the pace that Mayhem's got at the moment, these guys don't really have any other choice, because once Mayhem's got around that first corner, you ain't going to see him again for the rest of the race.
No. And J19's sort of safe in second place, because he will be very close to breaking 100 points himself. So he would have nearly a 52 race win gap over David Ward, who will still be third, but that gap's getting a little bit closer. So it'll be interesting to see who will come out on top of the third place battle in Baku. Another track which is is a fantastic track, but I'd imagine quite a difficult track to master, especially if you can't sort of keep it out the wall.
Yeah, Baku's tricky. You need the flow, especially through the castle section.
And again, another track which kills rear tyre wear.
Yes.
I think Mayhem's actually starting to back off now.
Well, I'm very surprised because I haven't actually seen a fastest lap for J19. He did set 1 or 2 earlier, and he's on the fresh. I'm guessing this is a fresh set of ultras.
Unless he went harder. Oh, it would still have a fresh set, wouldn't it? Of course. But he's only... Yeah. This is the interesting thing. He's only half a minute behind Putterland. Has Putterland pitted again?
That's come down quite a lot. Let's have a look. Putterland is on... No, Putterland's still on softs.
Also, well, when I say half a minute, it's about 34 seconds, but it's a lot closer than what it was. It's closer to more of a minute beforehand.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. Maybe Putterland is just managing the gap. He knows that he's on lap 66, he knows he's only got a few laps. He's been lapped. So Mayhem is on lap 67. Basically Putterland's got 3.5 laps to go.
Putterland's coming up to lap Soulman again. Or is he just cruising behind his teammate? Do we think?
Sorry, Putterland is well,
Putterland just cruising behind his teammate. Sorry.
His tyres are old. He just needs to. He doesn't want to do anything. He can't push too much.
I think Putterland might have made a couple of mistakes. The gap, I know Mayhem slowed because the gap's only gone out by about a second in the last lap. I think.
Putterland is, yeah, he was taking it very easy, but I think he doesn't have much tyre life left. So 135 and... Yeah, it's still about 30 seconds to J19.
Mayhem's coming up to his 69th lap. It'll be interesting to see after the Christmas break people's relative performance to getting back into the swing of things after the Christmas break. Because a 3-week break for these guys.
I'm sure they'll be raring to go. People get a bit bored with the long break. And it is Baku as well, which is the first time we would have had a new race at that track. People have played
and it's a bit
it,
like
so
Monaco, a bit like a Monaco-Singapore mix.
It's going to take a lot more time to learn and kind of understand how you're going to approach your race there. And racing there is going to be interesting as well with that very long straight.
Yeah, because you might have the instance of simply drag racing to the line on the very last lap. But I would like to raise an interesting thing to you, as Mayhem goes very wide in the hairpin. Trying to scare us. The word is that Mayhem will be getting a new controller, i.e. a steering wheel, over the Christmas period. Now, it will obviously take a few weeks to learn how to use a steering wheel if you've been on a controller for so long. Will that have an effect on his performances in the GP2?
Possibly, but possibly not. It just depends how long it takes him to get used to it. But if he's intuitive, it might not take him that long at all, and he might absolutely
might not make
love
no
it.
difference either. Might make him even quicker for all we know. Anyway, he's on the final lap now. A bit of an obvious question here. Who do you think it was driver of the day then?
Well, Mayhem has done a fantastic race. I would say, if it was not Mayhem, I think I would probably... I'd like to give it to Toro Rosso.
Yep.
I think Solman has done a really, really good job, and he was at one point fighting for a podium. In fact, I think second was his highest position.
Who's Solman?
He's had a very solid race. Yeah, he's been clean.
Anyway, if I can interrupt you, our race leader is coming out of the final chicane and celebrating it across the start-finish line. As he weaves across the line, that's win number 7.
Wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Yeah, let's say team of the day, Toro Rosso. Poland as well has done a very good race.
Both of them coming across the line in formation.
Oh,
It's kind of nice.
it's one for the album.
I'd like to raise a shout as well to J19 as well. If we go back to the start of the race, with getting caught up with getting a damaged front wing, not to giving up, keeping on going, getting involved with the battle for the podium, and then sticking with it, and then eventually being rewarded with 3rd place as well.
Yeah, he's had a very good race.
It would have been interesting to see if he didn't have to make the extra pit stop at the start of the race to see where he would have been with Pufferland.
Yeah, it would have been a lot closer. Also, if Dave hadn't have gone out of the race, I think we would have seen something a bit closer as well.
And I think we better say thank you to Mike for continuing on. But also Mayhem getting the least amount of penalties as well, with only 1.
Wellsy got 11, 33 seconds, and he DNF'd. We missed that.
No, we didn't miss it. No, because when he hit the wall at the final chicane, and with J19 after lapping him, and then he just swerved to the left and he crossed the pit lane exit.
Are you sure the results said that he DNF'd? Did you see him?
It said retired. It said Wellesley Bob retired.
Right. Okay. Did you catch it on your stream?
It was in my review. It was in the rearview mirror of J19.
Okay. Well, that's the end of that.
We're going to speak to our race winner.
You could send him an invite. We might as well just drop out of the group chat onto game chat.